Hi, welcome to Module 2, everyone. We are going to be talking about the planes of movement, so 3 distinct planes of movement. We've got coronal, which allows the body to flex and extend, right? So think hinging forward at the waist and moving back to that original position, or maybe even slightly beyond that. We've also got the sagittal plane, which allows us to move side to side, extending our limbs in star shape, and the transverse plane, which allows for rotation. And don't forget that rotation also applies to the neck as well. If you have anything outstanding from Module 1, anything that you need to attend to, please do. If those due dates, or better said, if the assignment is locked, just contact me. I'm happy to open it up. You'll get a little bit of credit reduction because it's late. Any questions, comments, concerns? I am here, literally right here in my living room, dying to hear from you, so please don't hesitate. All right, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So finding just a tall seat, legs are extended. If the hamstrings are really tight, go ahead and bend those knees, or even prop the hips up on a blanket, a pillow, even a yoga block or book if you have one and you feel stable doing so. We've got a deep dorsiflexion, so toes are drawing actively towards the shins. We're going to bring fists to chest shoulder junction. So here already we've got flexion for the elbow. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, round and dome. We're moving that flexion into the spine as we round over this imaginary beach ball. Inhale, stack back to neutral. This constitutes as extension, even though we're not moving behind the midline. Exhale, round and dome, flexing in the coronal plane. Inhale, stack back up, right back to neutral. Find that tallest spine. Let your heart shine. Here we go, round and dome. And I hope that y'all are jamming tunes while we're doing this. You don't have to be super serious. Just participate, be here, share this virtual space together. One more round and dome. And back to stack. Walk those feet just slightly wider. Still dorsiflexion, active, drawing back with the shins. With the toes towards the shins, arms open in a T. So now we're moving distal, right? We've got a little bit of abduction going on here because we're moving away from the body. Inhale, fill the lungs. Contralateral cross, opposite pinky to opposite pinky toe. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist and rotate. Yeah, we're moving in that transverse plane, as well as coronal, because you feel that hinge at the waist. You notice that flexion in the spine as you roll forward. For further integration, think draw that side belly back and allow yourself to twist a little deeper, still maintain that kind of rounding over an imaginary ball. Deep drawing back of that transverse abdominis. Last one here, exhale. Last one here, exhale. Good. Walking the feet towards the midline. Hands rest behind the thighs. Roll the shoulders into socket. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see a little better. And then we're going to draw that navel to spine. So we've got a little bit of flexion here for the legs. We're rolling the shoulders into socket, and then go ahead and elevate those legs if it's comfortable to do so. You can leave the hands resting behind the thighs. I've got a deep dorsiflexion, so my toes are drawing towards my shins, but if plantar is more your style, go for that. It does not matter. Heels, or rather, toes lifted. Go ahead and extend those arms to your comfort. So here we're working in the coronal plane, right? We're still hinging kind of in half as we arrive in this boat pose. Inhale. Exhale, twist left, twist right, allow the right arm to sweep to the side. You'll see that better as I move. Back to center, sweep. So we're moving in all 3 planes right here as we take a modified twist on this boat pose. Remember, feet down is a beautiful option. Leaning back to let gravity kind of fight you, but guess what? You will win. Don't fall over. And breathe. So arms are moving away from the body, distal to the body, twisting in that transverse plane, all the while maintaining that flexion as we're in the coronal plane. Go ahead and lower those legs. We're going to come right down onto the back body, so a nice supine position here.
Feet are standing, hands are resting behind the base of the skull, or option to crisscross them along the chest. So it might be enough for you to work in that slow crunch that we did last week. Now cross, cross, all right? Lower it back down. Exhale, lift, cross, cross, bring it down. If you're like, okay, ready, level up, here we go. We're gonna bring it all the way up to a crunch, cross, cross, down you go with control. Inhale, exhale, up, cross, cross. Now you guessed it, we are still moving in all of those planes. Flexion at the waist brings us into coronal. Cross body movement is transverse as we twist. And then as those arms move away from the midline, we're working that sagittal plane. A couple more. Cross, cross. Remember that modified crunch is a great variation without lifting the back off the mat. This is particularly important if you have any contraindications, any slip discs, any action in the back that is not feeling lovely right now. Bring it all back down. Nicely done. We're going to extend those legs. Go ahead and thread the hands underneath the low back. And we're going to tick those legs down. So this is absolute movement in the coronal plane. Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. Now bring it up, up, up. Bring it down, down, down. Exhale, up, up, and up. Let's see if we can get a little better view. Sorry. All right, there we go. Bring it down, down, down. Now bring it up, up, up. A couple more passes. Only going as low as you feel like you are absolutely in control. Back is not arcing. Neck is not tensing. All this action is in the low belly. Lift for the pelvic floor. And yeah, you're probably feeling this a little bit in that rectus abdominis too, those six-pack abs. That's why it's so good. One more down, down, down. No, bring it up, up, and up. Nicely done. Scoop up those legs, hug them into the chest. A little rock side to side, massaging any tension in the back that may have arisen as a result of those leg lifts. We're going to go ahead and shift on to the knees in tabletop. This one is familiar from last week. So find that perfect tabletop, right? Perfect stack, perfect stack. Bird dog coming up as you extend that right leg back, extend that left arm forward. So we've got the arm and leg moving distal to the midline, and now an exhale draws it all back in. So here we are working in the sagittal plane, right? The core is pretty stable and the limbs are what's moving. Couple more passes. Inhale, reach. Exhale, round. In addition, we've got flexion, we've got extension. We've got flexion, we've got extension. Lower that down, switch sides. Opposite leg goes back. Remember, press actively into the top of that foot for stability, and the opposite arm reaches long. Here we go. Flexion, extension, flexion, extension. Find your breath and exhale to round and inhale to reach. Keep that momentum, keep that stability. A few more passes here. Exhale, inhale. Last one. And find that reach and lower back down. We're going to shift to a thread the needle variation, working into the transverse and sagittal planes. Walk one hand towards the center of the mat. I like to align my nose with my middle finger. That opposite hand rests at the heart and then twists to open. So we've got sagittal and we've got transverse with that twist in the belly. Exhale, round and draw it through. Inhale, extend and reach. Exhale, pause to hover. Inhale, press to reach. Exhale, pause to hover. Inhale, press to reach, and come back down. We're going to switch sides. Stack that palm so the nose again aligns with the opposite hand. Hand to heart, hand to sky. Here's sagittal plane. Thread it through, pause, hover. Inhale, sweep and reach, sagittal plane with a twist for transverse, and thread. 2. Exhale, twist. Inhale, reach. Exhale, twist. Last inhale, reach. And bring it down. Now we're going to move to puppy dog pose. So walk the hands slightly wider, right? Like extend them. Extend your table. You're going to keep your hips lifted as you melt the heart forward. Resting the chin or the forehead on the mat. If it doesn't quite meet the mat, go ahead and bring a pillow or a blanket as a prop. Coronal plane here is for hinging forward at the waist. And now guide those hips back and arrive to find your child's pose. Take a breath. Keeping the arms extended, curl the toes behind you, send the hips up and back. We're in down dog. So down dog, we're working again in the coronal plane as we hinge forward at the waist, but we're also working in the sagittal because the arms are moving away from the midline, right? With your next inhale, roll forward, find high plank. Bend the knees, send the hips up and back, down dog, we arrive. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Roll forward, high plank. Bend the knees, hips up and back. Now a beautiful variation here is down dog to child's pose. Child's pose to modified plank. Right? We're still working that coronal plane as we flex and extend in the back. Let's try one more time. Either that modified plank to child's or come full down dog, full high plank. Take a breath wherever you're at, knee down or straight leg plank.